creating these 12 initiations is an opening to your higher consciousness, but also, you could say, purifying and transcending, lower energies into higher vibrational ones. So it's really working hand in hand with realizing who you are, but also maintaining and upgrading your energy system too. So a combination of self-realization and ascension. So we are all on the path of ascending, and as you can see in the world in this time, there is a big wake-up call, a big shake-up, and I'm sure you are aware of a lot of old systems being crumbling down in front of our own eyes, including our own constructs, our own programmings, our own old self is also crumbling too. And it might feel, or even it might bring up a lot of insecurity or fears, but with a greater understanding that we have, is that a new beginning, a new way can only occur if the old ways break down, whether within us or whether outside of us. Because when we look on an cellular level, we come to see that in the real reality there is no matter. We say there is physicality, but if you look deep down into that cellular level, you will find that it's all energy. So it's actually energy that we are transforming. It's energy that is breaking down or purifying and transforming it into a new way. And this is where we come now to this first initiation. Whether you've already been through it yourself, whether you are integrating parts of that, and also seeing it as well on a whole, wide world scale. And that gives you a broader understanding what is really happening. So the topic of today is about self-empowerment and empowering yourself through action. What does this mean? Because self-empowerment, kind of really seeing through the cycles that we go through, the cycles of energies, of karma in our chakras, mainly in our system. We come to see that we kind of repeat certain cycles, and many times people think that, I've done so much work on myself, and how come this is still happening to me? So they kind of believe that no matter how much work they've been doing, things are not changing or transforming. But the reason this is experienced over again is because every energy vibration has a vortex, has a cycle. So if you're touching upon disempowerment or victimhood consciousness, victimizing yourself to what is happening to you, and as it returns, it comes back, these cycles come back, it doesn't mean you're stuck there. It means you have now deeper access to that same vibrational energy, but you are working through it. Every time it comes, because they come in cycles, these energies, they come and you work through it. You could say you purify it, you manage to transform it, you manage to start seeing some positivity into it, you start taking step-by-step action into the right direction. So things are actually changing. Things are actually transforming, but you recognize the same energy coming back is because there are depths and degrees of that same energy. So even as we go through these 12 initiations, even if you are in a, let's say, a higher initiation of, let's say you are in inner love or you are in presence, it doesn't mean that certain cycles don't visit you of disempowerment or of self-destruction or of certain victimhood energies. They do visit. It doesn't mean you are stuck. It means you have now greater access to more depth of that function or that programming. So you are never stuck, really, no matter what comes. You are never stuck. It is just an idea, or not believing in ourselves that we are actually changing. So this is why it's good to also look at your, in a way, your achievements or progress you have done. And it's okay when these challenging energies, emotions revisit you. It is fine. It's an opportunity once again to polish them. And as you will see, at first it could be so challenging, and each one of us have core challenges. Each one of us have a core challenge, which keeps, not only manifesting, but revisiting you as an energy, revisiting you. And maybe in the past this was very extremely challenging, but now you see a certain strength in you, that when this energy visits you, there is more ability for you to work through it. And every time you gain more of your strength, whether empowered strength, willpower, and whether light, and whether more presence, these are the progresses, the results of transformations you see within yourself. And so it's always really important for us to be aware of what functions are still functioning. I know it is sometimes more difficult because some functions are very much in our awareness, but other functions, they're still functioning kind of behind the scenes, and we're not able yet to either bring them into our awareness, and so thus they kind of work behind the scenes through your subconscious mind and through the unconscious mind as well. But otherwise, and whatever is surfacing, and this is the topic of today, whatever is surfacing is to see whether it is a limitation of any kind, whether it is a challenging energy or emotion, or whatever it is that you know that it's in the way of your unlimitedness, or in the way of your peace, or in the way of your, happiness, what is in the way of your true self. And that which is in the way is actually what you are able to see. It's already in your awareness, which is great. So that which is in our awareness means you have the power to make change, to transform that into something greater. To transform that into something greater. And self-empowerment on an individual level, of course, this depends on your inner work, on the ability to be present with what is in your way, to allow it, to not suppress it or fight it, kind of to make peace with it, to make peace with the emotions, to make peace with the feelings, and only then we are able to transform it. So self-empowerment is about transformation. And actually, this initiation, it's happening in the whole wide world right now. Do you see that it's a big initiation? It's a worldwide initiation because humanity as a whole, collective, they are stepping up. They are stepping up to realize, stepping up and speak out, make that stand, overcome fears, overcome confusions, overcome self-doubts, and thus, standing up to what is maybe not right, not right for themselves. Well, up until a few, years back, nearly everyone was sleeping. Everybody was functioning very automated. And so you see with this shake-up, humanity as a whole, I'm speaking as a whole, there is a big step that everyone is slowly coming to. And it is actually, a first initiation of self-empowerment. Not being so blind and submissive, but actually connected with oneself, knowing what is right and to oneself, knowing what is best for oneself, and knowing that these limited energies and emotions of fears and separations, divisions, they are not serving. They are not serving humanity. They are not serving us. Thus, it is a time of transcendence, transcending these most heavy of forms of energies and emotions. And through this process also comes the self-belief or trust that one can do this, that I can, it is possible for me. And it can come with a certain clarity. So even where you are at yourself individually right now, your next step forth, or your next, let's say, challenging energy to transcend, it can only happen when there is certain clarity of seeing, knowing that this is not serving me. Yes, and when it's clear in our seeing, this, let's say, fear is not serving me. Thus, you take action. So action doesn't necessarily mean to move the body in a particular way. It can be that too, but taking action can be within us as well. Taking action by choosing something positive over a negative force. So in a moment, having clarity and knowing that you have power to choose right now between fear or love. Every moment there is a choice because there is clarity. And that is the willingness, that is the self-empowerment of taking these tiny steps at a time in the right direction. And that is how transformation happens. That is how we are reclaiming back that which we have lost through thousands of years on this planet, through many civilizations of coming and going and fighting and destructing and manipulating, and over, it's just been going forever. It has been going, this is not just now, it's just been going for thousands and thousands of years. Different situation, but in its essence and core the same. So in this, especially in this time, self-empowerment is having a certain clarity of knowing what is not serving you, knowing that which is not in alignment, with you anymore, thus having the power to choose. Yes, having the power to choose, and knowing that you have the power to choose. This is very profound, to know that no matter what there is within, there is always a power to choose. And as from another point of view, from this self-empowerment, comes with it healing. Okay, so one is this willing power, this strength and clarity to choose what is right for us at any given moment. And with that comes, we could say, healing and purification. So healing, when we say healing, it is basically heavy energies, heavy emotions, destructive energies, victimhood energies, opposing energies, all these energies that kind of lock. They are locking. The force of these energies, they lock. They just lock in. This is why you feel like trapped, or something is not right. You feel something is not right because it's not your true self functioning right now. So whenever, there's some anger or some one of these destructive forces that, they rise from our chakras, because they are even karmas there, they rise and they move up into the mind and they get trapped. They self-lock. Their mechanism works like that. They self-lock. And then we feel something is not right. Something is limiting me right now. Something is not right. Because it is correct. It is not your naturalness. Your naturalness is not locking inside of you. It's open and bright and light and free. So, we have that knowledge within us, what is in alignment with our truth and not. We have that knowledge embedded within us. So coming to the healing part of the self-empowerment, it is the purification of the heavy emotions into lightness, into a lighter version, into a more transformative energy, to a lighter version. And this whole self-empowerment, you could say, phase that we go through, it is actually to bring us to a second initiation, which is our inner light. So self-empowerment is like a bridge, to come to that inner power and strength, but to actually move through, to move through into your inner light, into more brightness, into more freedom, into more expansiveness. So it is not for us to get fixated in any way, but it's a transitional phase for us individually, but also when you look even at your maybe family, that it's kind of something that we must share with everyone. We must share this empowering frequency with our friends, with our family, because it is a time right now to spread this vibration. Because all together we can rise up as a collective consciousness into light, from this heavy, dark, negative, manipulative consciousness into light, expansiveness, and more freedom. So it's good to look in yourself, but it's good to also view the world around you, because that is how you get a broader view and a deeper understanding where humanity is going. If you get pinpointed your attention to one maybe wrong thing that is happening around us right now, it can pull you and drag you back in. Thus, it's important to have this overall widespread view of understanding that this is part of the process of evolution. And we are here to heal the core wound. Now, we are all here for one reason, to heal the core wound. And the core wound is the separation from our true self that came along thousands of years ago, when the vibration and consciousness was dropping through many civilizations of the past. It kept dropping and dropping and dropping, becoming ever further away from the God self, from the true self of who you are. And that is the core wound. So no matter where you come from, no matter your ideas, no matter what, we all have the same core wound. And we are on that path of healing that. There's been a lot of even technology suppressing humanity's consciousness. There's been a lot, it's been a lot. So, as these human beings, there is such like a warrior, energy within us that, keeps us going and not giving up on ourselves and even on this whole civilization. So it's also quite a beautiful journey. There's knowing, and this knowing that we are all here to heal the core wound, which has been present with us for thousands of years, and there is only one way for that. And this is why we are here at this time, meeting together, reminding each other and basically guiding each other back home, because that's where we truly belong. And of course, what comes and goes, and so many civilizations have come and gone and changed through eras of times. So that change is constant, and we can't fixate on change. Change is a constant, but in essence, it is our journey, all of us, to know who we are, to know where we're coming from, who we are, and to clear out that what we are not.